Hello, folks. Hello, 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 hello. Millennial pause? More like boomer pause. Just kidding. I'm not that old. Hi, chat. Hubert, hello. Shones, hello. Mass Man, hello. Is it a typo or is it actually number 3? It is number 3. Diego de Bo is getting out of hand. Problem? You mad? Izanagi, hello. Mr. Kupo. Sinjust, hello. Mick, hello. Epsilon, hello, hello. How's it going, guys? Good to see you all. Hope you are all doing well. All right, so today is the day that we build a new Keycult design, a new TKL Keycult design. I guess another new design was the Keycult 0, which we built a while back. But the number 3 technically not that new in the sense that the first teaser, I suppose, of the number 3 was kind of posted many years ago, and now it's finally coming back as a real, actual product, thanks to the efforts of Keycult and Novel Keys, teaming up together to make releases widely available and readily accessible. So pretty cool. So I did speak to, whoopsie, sorry about that. Hit the mic. Hit the mic, get it? So I hit the mic, the MG Sickler mic, the mic of Novel Keys mic, and I asked them about the number 3. So so the number 3 was teased years back, and it's finally being brought back. And there are some changes that happened to the design. I mean, specifically, it was just like bezel adjustments and things like that, and things about the assembling process and whatnot. And I'll get to show you all the internals and all that. But for the group buy itself, it's going to be similar to the most recent buys with the 1800 and the Keycult 0. Where you have access to a configurator where you can browse all the different combinations and options of parts that you can purchase. You can purchase multiple tops and that kind of stuff, different plates and blah, blah, blah. Basically you can configure exactly what you want, and you purchase it. And so that buy will be happening, let's see here. It's scheduled currently for September 10th. Starting in 1 week, so next week on Wednesday next week, going through October 3rd. So about 3 to 4 weeks for the pre-order period, or the group buy period rather. There will be just some small changes from this particular prototype that I have here, and the only changes are they're gonna put Torx based hardware instead of hex, and they're going to use screws that basically don't interfere with the placement of switches, that kind of stuff, just like slightly smaller with the button tops. And the cheapest option, as I was told, is estimated to be $460, so not very cheap. But it does factor, I think, based on Novel Keys' current policy on things, it does factor in any costs of like tariffs and that kind of situation. I think it's baked into the price, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think that's not what Novel Keys' policy is going to be. They're just trying to like put it into the price so that you don't get hit with surprise costs and things like that. And the most expensive configurator cost, I think, is going to be with the full copper accent and weight. So you can have a mid piece that's the accent and a weight that's part of the bottom, and that's going to cost like $750 approximately. So yeah, big difference. But so today we're going to be building a full alu unit. So this I did show it at the end of my last stream. So this is a nice kind of like lavender violet sort of color. And we have a silver aluminum plate for it with a silver accent and a silver anodized aluminum bottom. So it's a full alu unit. And so let's talk about it, and let's show it off here. So let's kind of start with first kind of like where the design kind of first started, you know, when it was first teased. The first teaser sort of like showed this very kind of like, you know, I guess very aggressive design with the side profile where you kind of have like this like fanning sort of pattern starting from the back corner and then going all the way to the front of the case, where it's sort of like, in a way, it's a bit reminiscent of, let's say, like, you know, like the LZRE type of fan, like, you know, like the little like steps, but essentially it's more of like a fanning, like a fanning sort of like, you know, like an open fan sort of like design where, you know, it kind of like from this perspective, it really starts at like this point and then kind of fans outward like that towards the front of the case. But, you know, if you look at the side like this, you can actually see that it's stepwise, you know, even gaps here, going from this part all the way to the end of the case, and then so and it just kind of follows this curve over here. All right, so you have nice like filleted edges over here, so it's nice and smooth. So pretty cool. And then so we have a kind of like a chamfered like edge here, and then you have a mid piece. You know, in this case, it's made out of silver aluminum, and then you have the bottom case. So so from the top, it looks like that. The first design that was showed back in the day had much thicker bezels. So the side to top bezel proportion was different. Before, it was much thicker on the side, so it had a much kind of chonkier profile to it from the top. But now it's been reduced by quite a lot, I would say, like maybe even over half of what it used to be. And so you have a lot more kind of classic aesthetic sort of side bezels over here, and the chamfer is not nearly as aggressively like side, like, you know, I guess like outward protruding. And so yeah, from the top, you know, you do have like somewhat outward protruding like cliff over here, but I would say it's not nearly as aggressive as it used to be. That said, it's quite nice. I mean, I think from the top, yeah, it definitely is a bit more reminiscent of like the Jaguar V2, yeah. But yeah, but the corners are still nice and rounded over here. You have your wind keyless blockers, and as you can tell right away, you have a screwless type of design. So you have you know, I guess that's what, 8 screws here attaching the top piece to the mid and bottom pieces. So right now that's currently what's you know, adhering the top to the bottom piece essentially, or to the mid piece rather. And then you have the plate inside, and you have a daughter board over there. It's a centered USB connector with a cable that kind of runs all the way to the side of the PCB, right? And this is also gasket mount. I believe Mike from Novelkeys already showed the way the plate mounts, but it's essentially kind of like this gasket sock sort of mounting system. And, you know, the bottom of the case is on the simpler side. You have bolts that basically attach the bottom piece with this weight piece. Right now, this weight piece is essentially an accent because it's all aluminum. But you can replace this with other materials like copper that they will offer. It uses the long half-cylinder shape Keycult feet. So this you will see it from other designs. It does not use the standard 3M SJ5302 bump-ons. And then from the back, you see the USB port over there, and thanks to this kind of like fanning out of this portion here, here you kind of have this nice curvature to the back part of the design instead of like a more, you know, diagonal and then like a fall off over there. But anyhow, pretty cool. So I do have to take out the plate, so we can take out the plate, and then we can move on by choosing the switches that we're going to be using. So when I said I was going to do this stream, I did put up a poll in my Discord server, and basically it was to poll what kind of switches that we were going to use. I did close the poll, or rather like took a screenshot of the results of the poll as of like sometime last night, and at the time it was like tied between I think Cherry MX purples or clear like tactile switches and some full travel non-cherry switches. So I took some of both, and so I have some options that you guys can vote for today. Obviously I will give priority to the poll from today just because, you know, it's the people who are here tuning in to the stream. Okay, so take off the top. So be careful about this, just to not lose my screws over here. Okay. And so the top is currently adhered with the mid. So as you can see, the accent piece of the mid piece is attached to the top piece, and then it is attached to the bottom piece. And then you have bolts here attaching the weight to the bottom piece. So in terms of assembly, I would argue this is a simpler design. It's going to be much easier to put together. So if you wanted to, for example, take a look at what the bottom piece looks like, I can actually take it off and show you. So here we have some of these countersunk screws. That purple is hot. Yeah, it's a nice purple. It actually is a purple that reminds me a lot of the purple that was initially on the, what's that? The IU TKL maybe, or the purple on the TGR Jane V2, like the FNF one, is kind of like this like vibrant tone as well. Kind of more like lavendery. Whoa. Someone's stuck in traffic or something. Very New York. Okay, so we have a daughter board that's attached to the bottom piece, and so you have a bottom piece that's quite simple. It's just kind of like a cover here, and on one end you have a kind of like a flat, horizontally flat piece, and then you have this thickened portion that is towards the back and holds our daughter board and cable. And so, you can expect that you'll see the negative of that at the bottom here. And maybe I'll just take it off carefully. So here you have the bottom piece, completely uncovered. And so as you can see, that's kind of like the slab of the bottom piece that fits with the weight or accent. Accent in this case, but I suppose weight really if you use any other material. Okay, so I'm gonna reattach it now. Mason, hello. Is this still gasket mount only? Yes, this is still gasket mount only. I will show how I actually haven't seen it in person, how the plate attaches, so I will have to undo that and show it to you guys and also learn myself what it actually is. But I do recall seeing from Mike's stream that he did on the Novel Keys channel, that it was sort of like this more convenient like gasket sock sort of like part. So I'll show that in just a second. Oh gosh. Okay. So we have our standard JST cable and connector. So now let's open up the mid piece to get to release the plate from this here. So the mid piece again is attached by these countersunk T8 Torx screws. So there's about 4, 8, 10, I think. Just you know, basically all around the perimeter for a nice and even compression. Actually, maybe I should just remove the screws. Can't believe they went back to top mount. What are you saying, Pears? It's never been top mount. It's literally never been top mount. Okay, so there is the mid piece. The mid piece is pretty much just a thin frame that kind of holds the plate in place. So it just has slots for the gaskets to fit, and it just kind of goes on top like that. And it also serves the double purpose to help align everything together. So here's our plate. It looks like it's mid mount. Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's mid mount, something like that. So we have 6 long, sort of like, I guess leaf spring cut tabs, as you can see. And we have these kind of convenient silicone gaskets, and which they sort of just kind of slot in here, like you would with a card and a sleeve. So they're pretty much like gasket sleeves, and they just sort of like attach like that. And yes, these no longer use adhesive gaskets. Yes. So quite nice. Very easy and convenient. So there's just 6 of these. I don't have any like different materials or any like different like hardness for the gaskets, so this is all I have. I hate adhesive gaskets, man. They're a bit of a pain, right? Just like to put everything together, it's kind of a pain, yeah. I can agree with that. It's just tedious. It's just tedious work, you know? It looks like so that's kind of how it all comes together. I will now, I'm gonna put these screws aside. Can they make adhesive that you can re-wet by licking it? Alright, so here's a plate. So, you know, leaf spring, gasket mount plate. S Soda 55 with the 61 months. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Just laughs at a very good suggestion. Isn't that literally what you do too? Don't people suggest you things that are good and you also just simply laugh at them? Am I saying any falsehoods here? Alright, so here we have a PCB designed by Yankar Designs. And they've designed this nice PCB here. And again, for their TKL releases. Okay. So it's time to choose a switch. So I brought a few options to the table here. Some of which are actually still like in, like I just have to take out from a different board, but I'll show you the options. I'll actually put them onto a poll. How's that? So one of the options is the Alex Otto's granite switches, which are in the Athena 1800 over there. I can take them if we vote for those. Then we have, you know, popular and ever good Gateron yellow milky top switches, which we have used before. Then I have these HMX Game 1989 switches, which are essentially 4.0 millimeter travel. It's like almost basically a full travel, but it's an HMX switch. These are also come factory loop. There's these guys. And then lastly, upon suggestions in the poll, I have Cherry MX Purples, which are tactiles and made by Cherry. These are also lubed and filmed. And then lastly, I do have some alpacas that are currently mounted in a keyboard over there. So those are 5 different options that we can choose from. All right. So that's based on the poll that said that people wanted MX Clears or Purples or full travel non-Cherry switches. So let's see, switch choice, hollow plate. And then, so I said I have Type Plus granites, Alpaca V2, HMX Game 1989, got yellow, milky top, and Cherry MX purple tactile. Alright, y'all can vote. Go ahead, please vote. Whoa, overwhelming vote towards the MX Purples. Probably. It was over before it began. No Gateron enjoyers. Gaterons are nice. I really like Gat Yellows personally, but I used to have some Oil Kings, but I think I gave them out on with like a board, so I don't have them anymore. Also had some inks, but I think those went into a board that's currently built already. Which company was the one that started as a clone of MX? Gateron. I forgot it was Gateron or Kale. I actually don't know which one was technically first, but I think it's Gateron. I think Gateron was the one that was like most well known. Alright, MX Purples. Alright, MX Purples it is. Good old tactile build. Alright, let's build it up. Oh, hello, Swang. Hello, Swangful. Thanks for the Prime sub. Wow, that's a rare appearance. How are you, my friend? I forced him here. Nice. Good, your hair's looking fresh. Thank you, thank you. I did just get a haircut, so yeah. Up to like 2 days ago, it was messy and really long. So it's good. Chat, hello, Krusty. Hi. Someone get Obby? Oh, wow. That would be a crazy appearance. At Jorge, please check DM. At Jorge, please check DM. It's been half a year since you replied to me. At Jorge. At George. At Jorge. At Poner, please check DM. No, you don't check DM. How are you all doing? Good to see some old names in here. At Miyago, please inspect the end. Oh, I'm not inspecting anybody's. I ain't qualified for that, sorry. Who made the PCB? Yankar. Nothing wrong with casual inspection amongst friends, Diego. I mean, true. Just making sure they're present and healthy. Gross appearance. Hey guys, I'm a researcher and I'm curious about your feedback on the Victory auction. What do you think about Victory auctions versus current drawings? At Keycult, any insights? Asking for research and funding open source projects. Yeah, Mick, stop being so insulting. It's my first time in the it's my first time on the internet. At everyone. Jedi Buds, hello. How's it going? How's it going? You guys want to sell some features through Victory Auction? Heard that the next Netflix subscription is only going to be available through Victory Auction slots. Better be in your top 10 million. Top 10 million bidders will get a Netflix subscription of the next tier. Next thing you know, it's going to be a subscription to Streamberry, if you know that reference. And then we're doomed. Oh yes, I need to update the build command. That reminds me. I can do that now. Shake my SMH. All these mods and the streamer still needs to update commands. Slackers. It's okay. It's all good. I actually forgot that Pairs had mod. Totally forgot. And then I remembered. Hard to imagine number 3 was back in 2020. Paris was still a minor back then. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy, man. 5 years gone by like that. So how old are you, Paris? Like... I thought Paris was like 47 back then. $65, $59. Every year it's a random number generator. 102? Hey, that's a very healthy life. That's a long time living. He's just getting started. Well, what is he, an elf? I don't know, don't ask me. Alright, alright. Have you recently bought any new boards? No, not really. Not really. Mr. Jose, I've been on a break from buying boards for the most part. I think the last well, one of the last few that I got or didn't get rather. One that I didn't get was my Moon V2 TKL, which I never got, just never got it. So just a shame, never got it. Then there was wait, hold on, let me see. There was the Daji 84 2.1. That was probably the last one I had delivered. Then not planning to buy anything in the near future. At the moment, probably not. I have a lot of boards. I need to like sell stuff to see if I want to buy anything else. And I'm not like a serial, like I'm not the type of person who does the whole like sell everything, buy everything all over again. You know, it's like if I like the boards, I'll just keep them forever. I mean, or you know, forever, however long they last. You know, it's like, why do I need to sell it? Make space for new ones. It's like, what if I just don't want new ones? But anyway, that's kind of the gist of it, though. I have boards that I like, and I don't have that much more space, so I am not buying more until either, yeah, basically. But yeah, I haven't really been the type to do the whole culling and then buying over again. That's just too much. Diego, if you could only save 3 boards from your collection, Mason has broken into your house and stolen the other ones. Which 3 would you save? I mean, I would probably save the ones that I can't recover, right? For sure. Or that have like immense sentimental value to me. Stuff that I definitely can't get again is probably like number 1 would be like the Iron Rogue that I got from Poner. That's basically a prototype. And it was a gift. So it's like, it's precious, you know, it's part of our friendship. He's an awesome guy. I really like the board too. That's definitely one of them that I would definitely save. Like, I would love to save like my Topper stuff, but honestly, I can get Topper stuff again, you know, if I really had to. So, okay. Maybe I'll probably save my 356 Mini because no one's making those. It would cost a whole lot more to get one again. And then maybe the third one I would probably save the Jane V2 I had that Yutzi built for me. I would probably save that one also because it's sentimental value. Not so much for the prestige of the board, because but more so because that was also like a gift in the sense that it was like a gift to build. And you know, I think as someone who builds keyboards for other people myself, it's kind of like an honor when people offer to build something for me, and I'm like, well, that's, yeah, it was really nice. So I've kept that original build since it was built. I actually haven't touched it really. So I'll probably save that one. I'm not sure though. It's tough. There are other boards that come to mind that I would probably want to save. Like the Keycult number 1 that I have, the original one. It's like the original one. It has this very scuffed nickel plated, what is that? Or chrome plated nickel mid piece. It's like thick. It's like so thick it barely fits in the bottom piece, like the weight. And then it's super scuffed on the inside, but it works. But it's like the first unit. It's like the prototype of the Keycult number 1. That one's also like high sentimental value because that was also like something that I got directly from Riot on the Bay. It's tough. It's really tough. But yeah, I think the answer to that question would always be going for the sentimental stuff first, like the non-replaceable stuff first, and then everything else. Like even if something's super valuable monetarily, if it's still replaceable, maybe I would actually forego the 356 mini actually, cause yeah, that one's like at least there's more unit. There's like a few dozen units out there or whatever, right? But if like for like a prototype or something that someone else built for me, there's really only one out there, and that's it. If it burns in a fire, if it gets destroyed by an earthquake, I don't know, that's it. It's lost forever. Yeah. I've always yeah Keycult and law lowercase, yeah. Man, that's the old school logo or branding rather. Yeah. I've always wanted to try those old number ones. They're pretty stiff. They were designed to be like so the original inspiration of the Keycult number one is a lot of people actually, I think not everyone knows, but the original inspiration of the Keycult number one was to be like two very different boards. It was to be like in terms of TKLs, right on the bay was really inspired by the Dolphin, the Linworks Dolphin, right? The Lin Dolphin. It's the one with very stark curved sides, sandwich mount plate, very stiff, thick plate, nice sound to it, but yeah, one of those like heavy, thick plate and sandwich mount, like very very stiff sort of typing kind of boards. And then the sort of at the time, I guess it was somewhat of a contrast, and the big opposite was the 356 mini that he had, which was gasket mount, right? Like it was like O-ring gasket. And O-ring gasket, this is like before like it was even a thing in the like custom keyboard scene. And he also liked the gasket mounting part of that, and so he basically implemented essentially what was a sandwich mount and then put gaskets to it, which was why the number one came to be. And the original number one only had gaskets on the top side. That's it. It did not have gaskets on the bottom side. So on the bottom side, it was actually basically a sandwich. And then on the top side, it was slightly gasketed, very thinly. So in general, the original number one is it's a pretty stiff typing experience. In fact, the first number one was done as a small, semi-private kind of group buy through Geekhack forum members, and most of the people who got theirs through that sold it because they didn't find it nearly as appealing at the time. But one cool thing about that first private buy or so per se was that you could choose your colors. So people chose custom colors, and that was really nice. I like Lin's boards. Oh, Lin's boards are pretty cool. Lin has been around for like ages, and I think what's kind of unique about Lin's boards is that they kind of are different design wise. And something interesting about Lin is that he kind of does always try to chase a bit of a new trend sometimes. And so you'll sometimes see designs that are really out of left field and kind of like not as cohesive as the previous ones. It just kind of comes out of nowhere, but it's because he's just trying new things from like things he's seeing are popular or things that he sees are interesting to him, or like peers around him ask him like, oh, have you tried implementing this or whatever, and he's like, okay, I'll just try it out, and he just does it and then comes up with a design and then sells that. Like kind of like LZ does that too. But yeah, Lin definitely has had that kind of like experimental phase too with a lot of his designs. That said, he has a lot of cohesion in his like line of work, in the sense that he has released like the Dolphin design in like 3 billion layouts, and has done collabs with other designers that have also released in several layouts and such. And so if you look at Linworks stuff, like yeah, there is like a whole line of classic like TKLs. There's a whole line of like dolphins in every layout possible, whale also in like every other layout possible, things like that. So that's kind of like cohesive about Lin's designs, but he has like attempted very like just completely random and new things from time to time, especially more so in recent years, I feel. But I mean, people are definitely a big fan of his like original designs, like like the dolphin and the whale. I think those two are like the most popular designs, right? And then everything else sort of like derive a good extent from that, or like the EM7 as well. So, which is co-designed with Syrian. So yeah. So yeah, some of these OG Korean designers definitely have their what is that called? What's that word? Pedigree, I guess. I just remember saying he wanted to look like it was kind of floating for the aesthetic. Yeah. I mean that's definitely what the number one is, right? So what I call the number one is, I call it an island type of design, where basically like the top and the mid piece float on a smaller object, so it kind of looks like, if you look at it from the side, it's like an island. It's like sort of like floating. Unlike a wedge or a shelf, or like a shelf basically is a full bottom piece, and then you have like handles sort of like to hold it from the sides, right? Like that people call that like, you know, wedge on a shelf or whatever. And so you get that too. Oh, who's this? Hey, Mr. Alex Otos with the raid again. Hello, Adam. Hello, Gecko. Hello, Cheese Raid. Hello, Derpter Bro. Hello. Wow. Hello. Turn One Delver. Alex, how are you, man? How are you doing? Alex, I need to come up to Toronto sometime again. I really like hanging out in Toronto too. But yeah, I need to come see you, man. Will I get tariffed as I visit? The real issue, honestly, is coming back. It's like, I don't, maybe coming back they'll like stop me. I'm scared of that shit. You do? We can hit up some food places, of course, man. I mean, you know how it is. I mean, hands down, Toronto, like, oh well, not like, you know, GTA, right? Like Greater Toronto area, right? So you know, my partner is from Toronto, and so when we go, we stay up in like, you know, Richmond Hill, Markham area, right? So that area has like amazing Chinese food. Whoa, so good. But yeah, every time I go to Toronto, food wise, it's a blast. Such good food. But yeah, just in general, like anytime I go to Ontario, man, ooh, I have a good time. I definitely gain weight anytime I go. I wish I could stay longer. It's my bedtime. Gotta work in the AM. No worries. Take it easy, Metaverm. Thank you so much for accompanying Alex on the raid. And also, Raiders, hello. My name is Diego, if you don't know. I go by Lightning or Lightning Keyboards. I build keyboards as well. I'm not nearly half or barely a piece of cool that Alex is in every regard. But I've been building keyboards for a while. And I've been in this space for about... I'm coming up on 9 years this year, actually. In like 3 months. 3 months exactly-ish, I will be at 9 years in the hobby. Can you believe that, guys? Basically a boomer. But I've been in the hobby for a while. And I've been building keywords since around then. And yeah. So I build keyboards. I banter about random stuff. I'm kind of a weeb. I'm not that good at video games, but I like them. Taobao types, yeah, that's my other my pseudonym. If you know, hello, my name is Teha, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Zilio V2 switches. He's my West Coast department person. Just kidding. But he's a good friend of mine, Nathan. I miss him in the space too. A bot games. We are all our own brand of nerd. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I guess professionally I am in the engineering space. So if you are in the biotech or in the electrical engineering scene, you can always hit me up. Always fun to network and connect with people out there. Not gonna lie, the only content creator I miss is Wildcat. Haven't seen that name in a minute. Did he go to the military or what happened to him? Do you know? Did Wildcat go to the military or something? Or did he just kind of dip? Professional, I just play one on TV. The main age demographic of your favorite game is ages 6 to 13. What are we talking about, Lamp? Oh, you're talking to Drew. I know. I thought you were referring to that. I saw that like post that I think Mick, you shared it in Anime Cult, right, in the Keycult server. It was about MiHoYo games, like Hoyoverse games, and how like Genshin is like for kids basically. Like preteens. And I was like, I play that game. I stopped playing ZZZ and Honkai, so I was like, I don't qualify for any of the others, so therefore I am ages what, 6 to 12 or whatever. Thanks that way CEO of Hoyoverse. Alright, gotta peace out. Alright. Take care. Metaverm, thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, so let's clip these tabs on and try them out. Diego, do you know Chunk Gamer God was a semi-pro smasher? No. I actually don't know anything about the competitive Smash scene. I have one of my old roommates was super into Smash. Like, we had like friends over all the time to play like Melee and also Project M, like all the time. But I just watch because they're too good. I'm one of those, like, you know, when you're like not good at the game, but you're like better than the complete beginner, but like anyone who remotely plays anything competitive will destroy you. So basically it's better for you to just sit out. I'm at that level, so I would just sit out and watch. but you know, my friends were very good, and I was just like, oh cool. It's like, how do you do that? I have no idea. It's like, I'm like, what? It basically looks like button mashing. I think you're looking for the word competent. Yes, I am incompetent. Thank you. Very kind. I think Wildcat should have finished his military service. Oh, okay. Wildcat that young? Or did he just go later? I guess you can go at different ages, so. What's your favorite GMK set? Man, that's a tough question. Anyway, the military is 2021 months right now. Anyway, my favorite GMK set? Um, okay, I'm gonna exclude beige, dolce, and wob because those are cheat codes and they're classic and they just kind of like, you know, they're like neutral, you know, and they like look good in many things, and so it's like kind of like, I feel like it's cheating if I said like a dolce, because I also like released that set by like doing a kit and running it through a vendor. That doesn't count. I can name a few, but like Hyperfuse is up there for me. Hyperfuse Origins. Honeywell is up there for me. I really like Honeywell. Carbon. I really like Carbon as well. And then, you know, the classics I of course like, you know, WAP, you know, Dolce, Beige, yeah. And then I really like Taro. Taro is a very good purple set. Blue Alert, and Blue Alert is like a beige variant, so I'm gonna try to exclude it for now. But it's valid. It's a valid answer. It's a valid answer. Because Blue Alert is technically like inspired by like Olivetti and not Olivetti at the same time, so there's that. TA90 and Zooted. Ooh, TA90 is good. TA90 is very good. Zooted is super good. Zooted is a very good set. Zooted came at like the right time. The thing about Zooted as a key set is that it was like after like sets like Taro came out, like bold sets that would use like these colored alphas that really stood out, and then Zooted came out like way after that, right? But like that subtle green, really good set. Zooted is a great pick for sure. Grand Prix. Oh, that's a rare choice I've heard. I do like Grand Prix, but I don't usually haven't heard it as, oh, that's my popular set. I mean, that's my favorite set, my bad. That's cool. That's cool. Handerbite. Handerbite I actually didn't like until it arrived in person. Like, I actually did not like Handerbite until I saw it in person. I too thought, just like everybody else did at some point, I was like, oh yeah, Handerbite looks like a Fisher Price made key set. Polybia's good. Yeah, those are some good picks, guys. Mictlan is of course good. Very like themed so well. One thing that Vihesu definitely did very well was with like going with the theme and really sticking to it and really like nailing it with that, with the kitting and the color choices and how to like distribute them and all that. Like he did a great job, and the novelties looked sick. So, and then, you know, his recent set Gorokawa like seems like did pretty well. So Dual Shot is up there. Yeah, it's hard to pick an overall favorite for sure, Agok. I agree. I do have like a favorite set per like color family ish as well. It's very hard to pick a one top favorite key set. It's very, very hard. Name the best IC you saw on Geekhack. I'll go first. Jimk Dracula R1. That was a good IC. That IC was like, oh. That Dracula definitely raised the bar on IC quality and completion when it first showed up. I remember a lot of people copied Dracula's format after it came out. Without permission. Not permission, but like a heads up. You know, it's like people would take the exact same format. I'm like, come on, man. Someone already did it before you. Just be original and like just either go vanilla or try something new. My favorite Zablowski's April Fool's GB for Oblivion. That was good. The 7-bit styled purchasing. That was funny. That was a good one. Dual Shot is a good set. I have my qualms, obviously. I'm a stickler for the OG stuff, and so I I really don't like the modifiers on dual shot, obviously, for reasons. And so dual shot is a set dual shot, botanical, there's a few sets that I really like but that I can't really purchase and use because I just don't like the modifiers. And botanical and dual shot are those for sure, are in that category. Bingsu R1 technically is in that category, but thankfully Bingsu R2 exists with text icon mods, which is nice. Although I do know that there is a discrepancy in those modifiers there too. That said, it's like 99% good, so it's fine. But yeah. Yeah, no, that's some good discussion right there. Favorite IC. And favorite key sets. There's a lot of good ones out there though. Favorite Rensuya set? I mean, least favorite is probably Peaches and Cream. Favorite, I guess it's Mizu, even though it wasn't necessarily what everyone expected it to be. That said, Mizu still came out like pretty good. I feel like it was almost like a coincidence that it was alright. But yeah, it was not what was promised. I actually love PNC. I just don't like on principle what PNC implied. Like the whole like I did it was PNC and then there was PNC Lite thing. Like you know, bad taste. Symbiote? Oh, Symbiote is a super good set. Symbiote is like, I mean, I think people can appreciate it more, even like more now, especially. But I think at the beginning, Symbiote was like a kind of underrated set. You know, I do think Symbiote is a super awesome set. Okay. Alrighty. Drop the mod key here. The membrane kit slabs, yeah. All right. I know what color would work, but I just don't have a board in those colors yet. Yeah. I think, you know what happens when you do that? When you have something in mind, but you don't have the color that you have in mind, you just do like polycarb. Frosted polycarb works wonders for having a case where you think you could match it with a certain color, but you just don't have that color. Then you just put it on polycarb, and it looks pretty okay. I don't have a single PC board. I guess you just don't like it as a material. Same for silver. You know, you say that about silver, but a lot of people actually don't like silver boards that much. Do you know that silver is actually one of the least popular choices? I mean, I would say no. Now it's gotten better. But back when I first started in the hobby, and people were offered, like, let's say, black, red, gray, silver, or like blue instead of red, like a colored option, and then black, gray, silver, people would always pick gray or black, but not silver. Silver was always the least popular option. I think it's probably because there was gray. Because gray is like the neutral option, right? People are like, oh yeah, it goes well with dark sets, and I could put a light set on it. It's okay, probably. But silver was like not as popular for a while. I think now people kind of appreciate it more. White is usually mid for me. The problem with white is that it's like it's just too much, the contrast. Or if you put like white on white, it just feels like, oh, my eyes. It's like flashbang. And yeah, I do prefer Anno over E-coat as well. Or Cerakote even. Cerakote, powder coat variations. That's weird because my gray unicorn has been my hardest to put caps on that I'm super happy with. I feel like the problem with gray is just like gray has so much variation in the color, right? Like you can have warm gray all the way to cool gray. And some grays are just, yeah, just kind of like too much in the middle, and it's like nothing suits them. It'll be like a decent match, but not a great match, I think. Be evil and put wob in silver. To this day, I personally I think it looks okay. It's not bad. Wob and silver is not bad by any means. It's just alright. It's just alright. You know? It's not amazing in my opinion. It's a nice contrast, but it's alright. It's just a waste? Yeah. Why put wob and silver when you can just put it on black? or like anything else. I like red alert on silver looks good, yeah. I mean, it's just like blue alert too, right? Blue alert works on silver too for that reason, I think. Cause it's like still beige. Beige variant. Alright, we're almost done putting switches. Thankfully this is a hot swap build, so pretty easy. Anyone knows if number 1 and number 2 use adhesive gasket? Yes, they do. Both of them do. This is basically the first time that it doesn't. As far as I'm aware. Still wish Keycult would make top mounts. True, but if they did, then what would make them special, you know? I guess, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's top mounts that are special too, right? So I guess it doesn't matter. It's just everyone has their MO, you know? Like, everyone has their, like, how's their way of doing design. And so gasket mount was what called to ride on the bay, who was, you know, designed these boards, right? But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe one day they'll just do top mount. Who knows? But I guess according to the inspo that I was explaining earlier, it just doesn't really suit them, I suppose. Alright, so for those who are new to the stream, or at least just came through Alex's stream, so the Keycult number 3 plate over here uses these non-adhesive, just like sleeve gaskets. So you just sort of put it on each tab like that. And it has a leaf spring gasket mount mechanism here. So pretty simple. But yeah, this is just what I have for this. And so there's 6 of them, just 6 major tabs, which is pretty convenient. And the gasket is like sort of like thicker at the ends and thinner in the middle. So really the compression is happening at these ends of the tabs. And now let's put it into, actually no, before we actually put it into the board, let me just test the PCB here, making sure everything's working as it should. That way I don't have to go back into the board later. Okay. There it is. Okay. All right, everything's good here. Okay, so time to put it into the case. That PCB wire seems to be easier than some others. Yes, so it doesn't have to go through a separate piece to reach the board. So it will have a much easier time placing it onto the PCB. So the way this works is that you have a top piece like this. So hold on, let me just put this aside for a second. Okay, so you have like a top piece, and a mid piece and a bottom piece. So you have the bottom piece just has, it's the bottom piece with the daughter board and the weight that's underneath it, which is connected to the daughter board. And then, you know, you have the daughter board cable over here. Then there is a mid piece here. This is going to be helping us sandwich the plate onto the top piece. So the top piece, you know, it's like this. So I can show you up close. It looks like that from the bottom side. Some dust over here. But yeah, oh, nice, has nice cutouts. They seem to have made little changes for the tool path to, you know, make it easier to machine. That's pretty nice. But basically, yeah, it has these little divots for the gaskets to fit. And so essentially it just kind of fits right in. So it's kind of self-aligning in that regard, which is pretty sweet. No need to align anything in particular. So this also has kind of like a self-aligning system as well, and you just, you know, match it up with the case. So there's an alignment pin over here, and there's one on each side here. So just kind of like match that up, and, you know, essentially you were just going to compress the two pieces together and tie them up using screws. So essentially these screws attaching the mid piece and the top piece are going to keep the plate fixed. Captain Mike, hello. Hello, my friend, how are you? And so this mid piece also serves as the accent piece. So you will find in the configurator that you have the option to choose different colors and materials for the accent. Are the alignment pins Teflon, removable, or machined on the top? They're just part of the aluminum piece. They're like little tabs, essentially. Yeah. Yeah, so they're machined to the top piece. Or really cut around them. So it's like the parts are self-aligning, effectively. Nice, harder for me to lose that way. That's fair. Although on the other boards, I think, you know, they're optional to use, so you don't have to use them, really. All right, so that pretty much completes the assembly of the top piece and the mid piece and the PCB and plate. Quite easy. Nice and clean. And then lastly, you know, you just attach, it's a screwless type of design, so you have, you know, you just attach your daughter board cable, you just tuck it in the slot here. All right, and then you close the case. So here I can feel the little cord coming out a little. Okay, now it's in place. Okay, and then we have bolts to secure it. So I have these hex screws over here. So there's like 8 of them coming from the top side. Oh my god, you know, I always miss putting these screws on properly. Okay, there we go. You think mid-piece gonna affect typing feel? No. I mean, it should be even compression, assuming you know, don't over tighten that mid-piece that screws onto the top piece. So essentially, it's really the mid-piece, top-piece sandwich that would compress those gaskets on the plate and PCB. So actually, what would factor in for that in particular, I think, would be whether you over tighten or not, and tighten evenly. That's what she said. Having trouble finding the hole again? Ah, oh, SMH. SMH. Did you have a sandwich today? I had. Is that sandwich like a colloquial term for something else? Just kidding. No, today I had for lunch I had a quesadilla. And for dinner, we went to like a happy hour. They had $1.50 oysters, and I think we got like some gnocchi and a burger and fries. That was good. Would you categorize quesadillas as sandwiches? No. What the fuck is wrong with you? What? No. Do not insult the food of my people like that. What? A quesadilla is a sandwich? What the fuck? This is... Are you gonna bring the stupid cube rule bullshit? Ugh. It's a taco. It's a hot dog. Please. I know. This is just bait. It's just bait. You have your quesadillas with or without cheese. If there's no cheese, it's not a quesadilla, right? Because quesadilla little means you know, like has cheese in the name, so it better have cheese in it. Also, the more cheese, the better. I'm not against it. I love cheese. It's a hot quesadilla soup. Hate it. Tell that to the people in DF. That's true. I know. I mocked the people in DF myself at some point. So I get it. Because I lived in a different place for a long time. And then I moved to DF and I was like, what the fuck? Quesadilla sin queso? Fuck that shit. Quesadilla can be pronounced cheese idea in English. Nice. Some mamadas, bro. Yeah, that's una bola de mamones. Anyway, all right. Let's put some keycaps on this. What should we put on this, my friends? What suits this best? No mames. Yeah, no mames indeed. Tuesday. Yeah, that's a good set. We can do Analog Dreams. That's a good one too. There is also, I think I can think of a few. Taro, Frost Witch. Yeah. Frost Witch, Analog Dreams, Tuesday, Taro. I don't have Blurple, so no Blurple. Unfortunately, I don't have Blurple. GMK Blurple, I don't have. Do you have Dragon Witch? No. No, I do not have Dragon Witch. NTD I do have as well, or NTD. All right, how about let's vote from those, since you guys are suggesting. Okay, can I do a poll with no keycaps? I can, I think. All right. Keycaps. Frost. Phantom. Oh, okay. NTD. Tuesday. Analog Dreams. What did people say earlier? Phantom? Okay, fine. I'll put Phantom on it too. Phantom. Also, hi Danny. Thank you for the 9 months sub. Thank you. All right. Alright, there's our sets. Please vote, my friends. Vote. Wait. Vote. Poll is right here. Wait, I actually don't know where your chat's located. I assume it's here, though. Phantom! Getting a lot of votes. That's actually interesting. Isn't Phantom like a pretty dark set for this? But maybe people want that extra contrast. Okay. I'm not voting. I do not like any of the options. Thumbs up for you, my friend. Actually change my NTD vote to analog dreams. Oh, okay, I'll try. I'm not sure. Oh my god, it's a three-way tie. It's crazy. Please make it not tie, please. Of those three, which do you like the least? I like them all. Oh! Oh shit! What? How did the vote skew so hard so quickly? Whoa! Okay, analog dreams. Okay. Wow, that was fast. Okay, I'll go get analog dreams. Bots? No way. Really? You think there's bots? Botting in my channel? I mean, no way, dude. I'm just like your average loser doing keyboards. They're not worth bot resources now. Just like garlic game mods. Oh, garlic games. Anyway. Do you have dark analog art too? Is that the digital nightmares one? I technically do, yeah. I broke the tie for nothing? Oh. Oh no. Anyway, I'll be right back. Analog dreams. And the vote is, you know, it's democracy. It's just the way it goes. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, friends, I'm back. I like how almost nobody voted. Yeah, I guess people need the like auditory feedback over here to being asked to vote. But anyway, I can show you what it looks like. I brought both. So this is Digital Nightmares. Diego, I have important news. A chimichurri street cart opened up down the street for me. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds yummy. This is what Digital Nightmares looks like. It's dark purple with these like teal legends and purpley modifiers. If you wanna you know sort of see what this looks like, it's like that. And then Analog Dreams is basically the light version of this, right? So it's beige alphas with the same teal and the light purple. Alright, I will respect the vote though, so let's do Analog Dreams. Are you planning to get any food from that card, Pairs? You better not just be telling me this and then not planning on getting any food from there. Eventually? Nice. My Twitch paused in the Be Right Back stream for 5 minutes. It's okay, it's okay. I was away for like a solid 3 or 2. Kind of torn between Korean and Japanese for tonight dinner. What would you get if you get Korean food though? I think that's actually something that I would personally debate. And what's like Japanese? Like Japanese in terms of like, is it like warm food or is it like sushi or is it like, yeah, that kind of stuff. I would debate that first. Just get Korean? Yeah, just get Korean. Maybe that'll just make it easy. Car has 2 things, rice and fried plantains with the meat, or just rice and the meat. Oh, that sounds pretty good. You get less chance to fuck up with Korean food? That's kind of true, actually. I think I would probably agree with that, yeah. Hair looking good today, bro. Thank you, thank you. How are you, Diego? I'm doing all right. Kind of feeling a little FOMO of Keep Life. I'm kind of sad that I'm not going, but other than that, it's doing okay. Just, you know, hanging around, doing okay. For Korean, I'm thinking about bibimbap. Ooh, bibimbap is solid. Kimbap and bulgogi soup. 전골. Ooh, bulgogi 전골 sounds super good. I don't know why, but something warm sounds great. I vote Korean. Maybe just next time you can just get Japanese. If you're trying to choose between those two, you know? Such is life, yeah. What can you do? Yeah, it just got convoluted for me with planning. Where's the backspace on here? And enter. Let me see what I have for keycaps here. Analog Dreams. Maybe we'll do. What color is this? Maybe I'll do this. This. Teal, something purple, light purple. For the enter, do this one. All right. Let's do the purple. What's new with number 3 to previous Keycult TKLs? Different design in terms of like the way it looks. Still uses gasket mount. It's a different type of gasket mount. It just uses like these like socks that sort of compress between the top and the mid piece, and then what did I miss? I said gasket mount, gasket socks. Different design, language. I think that's pretty much most of it, right? But yeah. All right, let's try this out. New aesthetic, same mount. Yeah, similar mount. Yeah, slightly different, but basically same mount. I like the number 2 bezels better but there are limitations on side bezel thickness to achieve the side profile. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right, so here we are. I think I got that right. So that's what it looks like. Is that good? Oh, so I guess you can't really see the side profile, but I'll show it just a bit. That's okay. Looks like it's floating. Yeah, kind of does because of the way both the bottom piece and the top piece have this sort of like outward angle. So it does kind of look like this part is floating, and then this part is like, you know, it kind of caves inward. So it does definitely has a bit of that too. Yeah. Kind of like a FL. Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, thick, chamfered design for sure. All right, let's try typing on this. All right, let's try it out. So we have a number 3 TKL today. New line in the design of TKLs from Keycult. Currently built with MX purples on an aluminum plate. Gasket mount, similar to previous designs, but non-adhesive. It basically is a plate that gets sandwiched between the top and the middle pieces, this silver accent in this case, and this top lavender piece. Yeah. So it is a full aluminum build. There is no steel or copper or brass in it, no foam. And yeah, let's take a listen. All right. All right, so that's what it sounds like. It sounds pretty okay, especially on the alphas. I'm not sure about the spacebar actually. The spacebar to me, it has a tinge of like resonance to it. Yeah, I think there is a bit of resonance to the spacebar. I am debating whether it is because I either tighten too much or not. I can tweak it a little bit, but I definitely heard some resonance in the spacebar. Something to play around, I think. I'm going to try a few different things and then see how that goes. But alpha sounds pretty okay. Sounds a little muted. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it's definitely on the quieter side. So. Maybe it needs force break? Maybe. I actually don't know, but maybe you're right. I mean, we can try a few things. So, I can go through the mods, and then I can show you what the board looks like, and then I can open it up, and then we can try a few things. How's that? So let's do that. All right, here are the mods. Yeah, there's definitely resonance in there. Just the spacebar though. So, going to play around with that a little bit. It's a loud siren. I have to say, honestly, everything else sounds okay to me. It's really just the spacebar to me. That sounds a little that sounds like resonant. In terms of stiffness, it's softer than the compressed gaskets on the 1 and the 2 TKLs, I would say. It definitely has a bit more give to it. I actually kind of feel like either I'm going to have to play around with it, but let's try a few things for sure. So let me just first show what the board looks like in kind of like different lighting, and then we can go ahead and open it up and play around with it a little bit. So here it is. This is the number 3 TKL. Look from the top. That's what it looks like. But yeah, everything else sounds okay. Like I don't hear the resonance in other parts of the board, so it's really just the spacebar area that needs a little addressing. I wonder if it's just the plate design, but like the cutouts or something like that. But yeah. But anyway, this is how it looks like. And from the bottom. So here from the other camera, and then if you want to see it from this angle, that's kind of how it looks like from this side. And if I just put it on the board, it kind of looks like that. What's the typing angle? I'm actually not super sure, but this looks like 8 to me. 7 or 8. I think 8. I think this is 8. I think this is 8 degrees. Most likely, but I'm guesstimating here. All right, so that's what the board looks like. I think the board looks nice, and I think the board sounds nice. The spacebar just needs a little help. So let's try to play around and see what we can find out. It is possible that it is the placement of the gasket there specifically. It is possible that, as I think maybe Shonas said it, I think it was like maybe it needs force break. But if it needed a force break, my opinion is that the rest of the mods should also sound pretty hollow or resonant. Like the entire case should sound like there's like metal everywhere, but that didn't seem to be the case. So I'm thinking maybe it's different. So let's see. I need my where's my switch folder? Okay, here. So let's take a look. So this is what the spacebar looks like. So I'm actually wondering, so we have this kind of tightening the bottom part here, and it's under the spacebar. I wonder if I loosen this a little bit, it makes a difference. So let's start from there and do like a little A/B testing sort of situation. Actually, let me tighten it all the way and see what it sounds like. So I can still hear a bit of that resonance. So I'm gonna loosen this. Just barely tighten it. A little better, but not like completely gone. Not completely gone. So it does look like maybe the way things are tightened onto the case are affecting it. So maybe force brake could be appropriate. So we'll see. Should I actually switch the angle to the overhead? I think it might be easier to kind of look at things that way. Okay. So there comes off the top piece. That plate doesn't have any flex cuts, so it has them like in between the clusters, like here and here, and then it has leaf springs for the gasket area. But otherwise it doesn't have them in between, as not nearly as many. There's some acoustic cuts here and there, but I'm not sure how much that affects it. So, but you know what? Let's do this shit for science, right? Let's see. Let's try taping some stuff. Like, what happens if I shut these completely? Those cuts there. Just kind of curious if the plate's playing a role. It's not gonna look pretty, but at least that's not enough, is it? No. I like this purple though. Yeah, me too. I really like it. Obviously, when it's not on the top, on the bottom case, this doesn't have that like resonant sound. So you know what? Maybe Shonas is right, and we just need to force break this mid piece. So we'll see. That does sound better. So let's see here. So it is true that this mid piece lies on top of this part here. So there is contact points. Essentially, this whole part contacts the case. So let's try that. Let's try thin strips of material to put in between the case and the mid. I mean, and this is good for me to like give as pointers to them, because you know this is a prototype at the end of the day. So if I can provide this feedback and they are like, oh yeah, actually, you know, it does seem to make it better, or and whatnot, then you know that would be good for them to just be like, oh, we added force break like little strips to the kit. You know, whatever it might be. Oh my god, my placement is so like off. Finally got me a purple board, traded my derivative for a DNDM, pretty nice. Oh, nice. Derivative is a nice board. I haven't tried the Darien boards, so I don't know, but I'll trust your word for it. But if the color is nice, then that's good. Sometimes you just need the right color, you know? I still have my HKB derivative? Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, so I attached a few of these little like stab thingies on the bottom part. Only the bottom part for now, just because I didn't have issues with the rest of the board. So I'm gonna just try that and see how it affects the sound. Now with the daughter board and everything attached. And then I'll actually tighten the screws too, because it's probably not fair of a comparison. That seems to be gone, right? Relatively? Yeah, I just added force break. I'm gonna do a second test and basically just remove this here. See if the cutouts are actually not affecting it adversely, so that I can actually see A and B, essentially. It's kind of hard to remove that. Just gonna pierce it. Ah! That did it, right? I think. I'm gonna let me take off the music here for a second. Oh, little cat. And just cover this part for now. That sounds like an MX Clear stem now, or the MX Clear like spacebar now. Right? Force break. I guess that was all that was needed. Only at the bottom. I'll tell them about it. There's a lot of metal to metal contact, I suppose. One of the rare cases where I think a MX28 black will save the day. I could put a Nixie on it if you really want to. Try. Or I think I might have an MX28 black here. Let me just double check. Let's see. If you want to hear a MX black. Here, I will make it a proper MX black. It's a Nixie, but I'll just replace the top housing to the MX to the purple one. Alright. What's a long pole equivalent to an MX Black? Would the BCP be that? Yeah, BCP is kind of close to that. It's pretty close to what that would be, yeah. A BCP. So yeah, if you wanna hear this now with yeah, I think the resonance is definitely gone. So, you know, this is with an MX Black. We can go back to the clear, to the purple for now, just to demonstrate that, you know, even with the MX purple, it's fine. Typically because people will do, you know, only tactiles for a build, usually not mix linears and tactiles as much. I see people do like BCP spacebar on a Browns build. I've seen people do that. I know someone in particular who really likes doing that. But I personally actually prefer to keep the type of the switch the same if possible. But I mean, it's all personal choice. At the end of the day, you do whatever you want with the build. But it's good to know. I will relay that a little force break at the bottom, especially for the spacebar area, helps. But that otherwise, I think the board sounds pretty good. Twitch tag long pole as explicit. Nice. All right. Shall we try this out, folks? Is the music stopped? I think it is, right? All right, cool. All right, if you hear stuff in the background, that's just my partner playing games. All right. So now we have force brake just around the screws on the bottom part of the case, and just retighten the screws just to finger tight for all of the screws around. All right, let's try that again. MX purples on aluminum. Alright, there it is. I do think the spacebar sounds better. Definitely on the more muted side for sure, compared to like other boards that have gasket mount as well. That said, you know, something that's could be worth playing around with different switches as well, and different plates and things like that. But yeah, so that's what it sounds like. Alright, I can go through the mods. Okay, I'll go through the mods. Up air kind of dank. Up air is nice on TKLs usually. So it's a good up arrow. But yeah, Cherry MX clears or Cherry MX purples, pretty nice. Nice sounding. So, sounds a lot better. Yeah, so I think you just need a little force brake for that. So at least it was a pretty easy fix. Definitely something that I'll just bring up. Maybe I'll ask them to, you know, include something in the kit that seems super easy. So, you know, if there's no expected changes to that specific part of the design. But yeah, I'll, you know, relay that. Can we get a question mark out of 10? Oh, 10 out of 10 rating for the up arrow. Let me try on the mix black as well, out of pure curiosity. I think that's like an 8. I think that's like a solid 8. I was like at 7 when there was the tactile, but with the black, it's like a solid 8. it's like prominent, and it's like not like echoey, resonant, weird. None of the weirdness from the case comes through, which is always a good sign. Some cases just have like a lot of metal to metal contact here and there, and so sometimes even at the arrow clusters or like the nav cluster area, like you can start hearing like little pinging. Sometimes what you can also do is like if you tap the case, you can sort of hear when there's like gaps in between, but this one's pretty good. 7 with a purple, 8 with an MX black, I think. It's good. It's a good sound. A plastic plate could be better for the purples in this case. I agree. I think either carbon fiber, which is not plastic, but carbon fiber, or polycarb. Polycarb, I think, would sound really good with these clears. Would bring out the sound of the clears, or the purples rather, a little bit higher pitch, I guess, but a little extra volume there. So it would sound a little bit fuller in terms of like the switch itself. Yeah. I did do alu on. I did polycarb, I think, on the tofu, right? And I think I did alu, I think it was on the Lotus, and that sounded really good with the purples, on alu specifically. But yeah, it kind of depends on the board. Like every board is a little bit different. You just have to try it out. Yeah, but I think a plastic plate, like polypropylene or polycarbonate, would be pretty fire. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much the build, right? So I can show you one more time what the board looks like. So here we have. Essentially unplugged it. Here we have our board. Looks quite majestic and nice. Look at that. It's a gorgeous case color. I'm not sure if they're keeping this specific case color, but yeah, it looks good. Can you give me 7 TV emotes so I can remove this disgusting emote? Yes, I shall. It does look nasty. And let me flip this over. You can remove all the emotes that you find bad, okay? I give you all right. And if Drua says no to it, then it's okay. I give you power to override that as well. Yes. But you know, I remember the first teaser of the number 3 looking a little chonkier and looking just, you know, aesthetically like not quite what I personally would enjoy, but there have been changes to the design overall that make it make it look pretty good. I actually really like you know, this kind of like design with the weight kind of like peeking through the back has become more common over the years, and with the mid accent, and you can sort of tell that the mid accent really covers most of this like vertical part of the board, so it kind of really stands out. But you know, I think design wise this is kind of cool. You know, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, obviously I think the color is a real standout here in this particular case because such a nice like blurple purple whatever. But like, you know, it's a cool case, and I do think the bezels being changed to be thinner on the sides worked out really nicely. Kind of still preserves a little bit of that classic look, but you know, the overall design is a very loud design. Like it's just like makes a very strong statement design wise, but it's very cool. I really like it. I think it's kind of original in some ways. I know it's polarizing, and I know Keycult, you know, like the reputation of Keycult has seen better days, blah blah blah. You know, we could go on an endless rant about that, right? Like, you know, it's the people will talk about this the whole time. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, reputation, fulfillment, blah blah blah, novel keys, more accessible or not, or you're conducting research for an open source feature, whatever. Anyway, regardless of all of that, I think design wise, just strictly like grading it from just looking at it in front of me, I think it actually looks cool. I think it looks cool. I actually kind of like that they use these bump-ons and not the round ones because it works better for this design. I think the round ones might have looked out of place due to the roundness, due to me being like a perfect circle. But these strips actually work nicely for it. But yeah, side profile is cool. That said, you know, not a cheap board. You're definitely buying it for the price of, you know, whatever this is going to cost to make, plus the brand, plus, you know, whatever, you know, the tariffs that get tacked onto it, the logistics, the things that novel keys needs to do to survive and put a food on the table. But, you know, it's neat. It's neat. If it's in your, you know, if it's your cup of tea, by all means, check it out. It'll be live on September 10th, I believe. It's cool though. I think it's cool. And frankly, you know, I did do force break, sure. There are a lot of boards that require this, okay? That aside, I think the board sounds pretty good. It didn't have any glaring things that I would say like, oh, it's a prototype and there's this and this and this is wrong with it. Fitment is bad, screws are a problem, you know. There is none of that. Like, assembly wise, it was pretty seamless and easy process, no tricky parts, much easier to put the daughter board and the cable and all that connected. It's a simpler construction compared to the other designs, but design wise it's kind of neat. Yeah, I might consider it if I was more into keyboards. Okay, Frank the Third. Sure, dude. Frank, you might be like one of the people really into keyboards these days. Although, I mean, I know that you've also slowed down a lot. Anyhow, is there talk about 365? Not at the moment. I think to translate this over to a 65 would be rather interesting, yeah. Okay. I haven't bought a board since the Biden administration. That's a good one. That's a good one, Kupo. Okay, Kupo. Before I actually forget, let me actually do the 7 TV thing for you. Because, yes, it's time. Because if I don't do this like right away when I remember, I'll never do it, you know? Emotes. It's under settings, editors here. Yeah, okay. Think. Okay, I did what I needed to do, I think. You think you just need to accept on the 7TV portal. Hopefully Kupo isn't like Insti adding weird emotes. I think Kupo is wholesome and nice. I know he acts different in different places because he has personality modules to his chatbot v69.420 features with beta testing features as well, but you know. Just like alright, awesome. Thanks, Mr. Kupo. Any new resin to show? Yes. I have some here actually that just got here. Got a few of these. Here. I picked up some pigeons, and these are the ones I got just recently. That's level caps. That's night caps. That's night caps. Yes, this is a VV. That's VV. Yeah, VV the black. Yeah, VV the black mage. Yes, that's an Optimus Prime. It's a Gatekeeper by Safe Caps, and that's a Slayer by Noah. Onion. It's a garlic. It's garlic. Garlic. It's garlic. It's a bulb of garlic. And the coolest thing about this sculpt is that it actually like comes off. Like the face comes off. It has like swappable faces with magnets. Caps made this one. It's their new sculpt called Mage, and they basically made it like modular like this, which is super cool. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. Yeah, me too. I grew up with it, so I'm super keen on Final Fantasy stuff. But yeah. The Spider Pigeon is Level's best work for that sculpt IMO. Oh, you think so? Oh, well, the quality of this. Okay, Kupo, I unboxed this and I saw it and I was like, ooh, because the spider was so realistic. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, yeah, it was scary. And yes, this is indeed Optimus Prime. Frank asking the hard-hitting questions, but you know, I try my best to keep it under control. Huh? Okay, can I ask you that question too? Can I ask you what's your numbers on the past 6 months? Well, this is year 1. And yes, Mick is right. That you know, we gotta watch out. You know, we're watching for we're taking care of each other, my brothers and sisters. Not in Christ. Anyway. All right. Let's wrap it up here, folks. It was fun. It was a nice and longer stream, but yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for sticking around as always. I actually have stuff that I want to give away to the community, but I haven't just had the chance to do so. But eventually, when I have more time in between things, I will organize my stuff and do some sort of giveaway stuff. So, you know, might be just random. I might just be like, let's do a marbles race now and like give something away. So I'll do stuff like that for like some keyboards and like key sets and like keycap stuff and here and there that I just have like laying around that I personally don't use. So it would be good to just see in other places. And yeah, I will be doing the ETAR 87 tomorrow. I actually have to prep a few things for that. But yeah, that will be tomorrow. So the ETAR 87, if you don't know, is, I believe it's currently also, there's a channel for discussion on the ClickClack.io server as well. But it is a FRL full size essentially. Like it's like FRL numpad. FRL TKL plus numpad, essentially a full size without the F row, basically. That's actually what it really is. ETAR 87. It used to be called the QFRL 100, like quasi FRL 100. But yeah, so I'll be building one of these tomorrow. This is designed by the Bloody Easy, community friend, and a nice dude out in the Middle East. I believe in Bahrain. But yeah, so you know, building this cool little board, or not that little, but yes, I'll be building that tomorrow at around 2:30 Eastern time. So not too long from now, actually, like 15 hours from now or something like that. So I will see you guys around then for that. Okay, let us wrap things up. I see who is streaming? Gotson Designs is streaming keyboards. I don't think I see any other keyboard folks, do I? I don't think so. So we can go raid Gotson, show some support over there, and I guess we'll wrap it up here. Alright, I will see you all tomorrow for the ETAR 87. Wait, did I do the right name? Yeah, I think so. Okay, well, thank you all for coming by. This was the Keycult number 3. I hope you enjoyed the build. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a good evening. Silksong stream after ETAR. I haven't played what's a prequel? Hollow Knight? I haven't played that, so I don't have interest in Silksong yet. I don't get invested that fast. I'm currently invested in Peak though. I want to play Peak. Maybe I should stream Peak. It's so hard. Okay, I'll catch you all later. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye.